Hey guys, it's Landon from RH. This is the second video I'm doing in the set of videos that show you how to vibe code. So I've got Windsurf open here. In the last video, we didn't do very much in Windsurf. We worked in a couple different AI tools to come up with our implementation plan for this project, which I'm calling Fila Analyst Nexus. It's going to be a ribbon component for TKinter. TKinter doesn't have a built-in ribbon widget or component. And then it's going to be a widget or a component that navigates triple stores, knowledge graphs, essentially. And so in the last video, we combined those plans. We got Grok to critique it, and we refined the plan. At the end of the video, the first video, we loaded the plan into Windsurf, and then we told it, let us know if you have any questions. So it gave me a bunch of questions. I went ahead and answered those questions here. I won't bore you guys with going through all the answers, but they're here. It's asking me about singleton versus dependency injection, which is a software architecture thing, about some stuff we mentioned in the plan that isn't in the existing local packages, so an action registry and an event queue. Then it's asking me just about some of the algorithms and data structures for the new code. Where do we want to create the code? Do we want to distribute the widgets separately or always together in the app? How do you want to do your testing? What's the minimum viable program? In other words, what do you want included the first time we click the execute button and you see the program? And then, what order do you want to do stuff in? Okay, so we're going to say, here are your answers. Let me know when you've reviewed and you're ready to start coding. And then I'm just going to paste that in, and it'll go pretty quick here, I think. This is all right. I'm ready to begin. Just checking some answers to your questions here. All right. It's a little wordy. It's okay. So it's telling me everything it wants to do. It's reviewing my rules. And then it's going to start. It says, do you want me to start coding? So we're going to say yes. And we're going to let this thing run. I'm going to pause the video here and just let this thing, it's going to run for a little while. So it's cool. It creates this little to-do list, and it's going to walk through the to-do list. So I will check in with you guys in a little bit. Okay guys, so we made some good progress here. You can see what it's done. It's started the implementation here, created the event definitions, built the ribbon widget, created the main application. Now it's ready to run type checking and linting. This is the first time it stopped and asked for input. It's going to do that anytime it wants to run tests or linting or a command line program. It's going to stop and ask me. So I'm going to go ahead and run these. It may find some errors in the type checking and linting. I'll fix those. Then we'll resume the video. Okay guys, so we've got our basic GUI ready here. It's displayed, and so you can see we haven't done anything with the graph navigator yet, but it's got a preliminary ribbon set up. It's got ribbon tabs. It's got some buttons arranged in the ribbons. It's got these little button groups or panels, ribbon panels. So I like this. It looks pretty good. I don't know that I'm going to worry about icon support in the ribbon yet, maybe not for a while, primarily because TTK Bootstrap just looks better with widgets that accept the theme styles from TTK Bootstrap. I might experiment with some with a ribbon that just uses like some solid black material icons, because I think that would work, but we'll do that later. But I would like these buttons to all be the same basic, all the rectangular buttons to be the same basic dimensions. And I would like to, define the way buttons are aligned. So I don't want to see 3 buttons in a horizontal row like this. If there's 3 buttons, they should always be stacked vertically. So I have some suggestions here, some rules sketched out. So I talk about button groups. They hold a logical group of buttons that are the same size. I talk about, okay, we're going to have button groups with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons, and then I have rules. You know, if there's 1 button, it's got to look like this. If there's 2 buttons, it can be option A or option B. If it's 3 buttons, it must look like this. If it's 4 buttons, it could be option A or option B. We call those button group layout styles. Then I have some rules. You know, all rectangular buttons in a ribbon should have the same height. You know, rectangular buttons should be limited to the following dimensions. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to copy this in, and we're just going to give this feedback to Windsurf. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. And we'll open up Windsurf and give it some feedback. So it's saying, let's run the application again. Okay, so here's the app. It's actually got, it started to implement the graph view, which you can see needs a lot of work. So we'll work on this. I don't think I've got tooltips going here either. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm just going to stop it. And I'm going to say, I'm going to post in this information about the ribbon. And we'll send this feedback. And it's going to think for a minute, and it's going to tell me, all right, I think I can do what you want, or I can't, and here's why. So it's saying, all right, yep, you want more structured button layout. Here's what we're going to do. And it's going to redesign the button. So I'm going to let this run for a minute. I don't think it'll take very long, and then I'll unpause the video and we'll take a look. Okay guys, so it did its work and it's showing me the updated design here. So this does look a little better. I obviously need to tell it there needs to be a maximum width. So let's try that. So it does look a little better. So let's I'm gonna just skip that and say we are headed the right direction. We should have a maximum width for button groups, probably 12 times the standard rectangular button height. Can we try to add a couple of different button groups to our ribbon? A big square button, a quad button group, and a vertical side-by-side double button group. So I'm going to say, hey, show me some different examples and implement a maximum width. So let's see what it says here. So it's going to add the maximum width, and it's going to put in some more examples in the ribbon. So we'll pause it. We'll see what it comes up with. Okay, so you can see it's trying here. So this looks a little better. But you know, these should be square, and this should be square. So for some reason it can't handle square buttons. And it doesn't look like it's able to apply the maximum width. So let's give it that feedback here. So it's still running. It's creating a summary document. Okay, so we're going to say doesn't look like a maximum width was applied. Let's try maximum width of 100 pixels. Also, the square button isn't square, and the quad layouts should always use square buttons, not rectangles. To be clear, all rectangular widget, all rectangular buttons in the ribbon should be the same size, but the square buttons so we should say the square buttons in quads should all be the same size, and the full square buttons and the side by side vertical buttons in a 2-button group should be the same height. This height should be almost full button group height. The buttons should fill, let's say the square buttons should fill the available space in the button group. I'm going to say fill the available vertical. Let's see what happens. We'll see what it says. Okay guys, so this is looking better. So you can see I've got button groups here with 3 buttons. They must be stacked like this, so it's following those rules. Here's 2 side-by-side buttons. Here's a nice square button. Man, here's some button quads. Now, something's weird here. These side-by-side buttons should be centered in the button panel. This is also, it's supposed to give me a tooltip when I hover if the text is truncated. But it's getting better. So you can see you got to kind of iterate on this. Oh, it also implemented a maximum width. I'm going to say, we're going to just say tooltips aren't showing for buttons with truncated text. Let's test this. Also, the 2-button side-by-side group should be centered if it is the only button group in that ribbon panel. Just like the quad button group or large square button group. I don't think it gave me an example of a button group. Let's say, give me an example of a ribbon panel containing 3 different button groups. Different type of button groups, different type of button groups. But in the same panel. Think about how we implement tests for the tooltip display and our button group layout rules. So I don't know how we're going to test that. We got to think about that. Make suggestions. Okay, so we're going to have it fix the tooltips, hopefully. Fix the issue with the, so we're going to have it fix the issue with the tooltip. We're going to have it center this. This should be centered just like this is centered. And then we're going to have it give us another tab that has more than 1 button group in a ribbon panel, because I want to see what that looks like, and then make some suggestions on how we test all this. So I'll let that run. All right, guys. So I think I've got this to a point where I'm pretty happy with it. So you can see it fixed the side-by-side button here is now centered. We're still not getting a tooltip. But the rest of this looks really good. See, I should be getting a tooltip on here. It's got a pane now that's showing multiple button styles. So I'm super happy with this. The only thing that isn't working is the tooltip. So I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to get it to fix the tooltip problem. And then probably what we'll do in the next video is I'll work some more on this The graph navigator here needs a lot of work, but I'm fairly happy with this. Oh, it's hard to get zoom in and zoom out working, which is cool. So yeah, we got us a pretty handy little ribbon here. You know, we'll get this to work with some material icons, and we'll get these tooltips working. But yeah, I think this is going to work out well. So I'll get the tooltip working. We'll update the changelog, and we'll get ready for our next video.